Hey yo everyone, this is the HappyAnimaidCafeManager here with another walkthrough episode for the game Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Anyway, I haven't tried pressing on in this game just for practice, but it's only because I have an idea on what to present as evidence. Figurine type other retrieved from unguarded mansion living room, a wooden bear-shaped figurine covered in many thin cuts. What was the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. Oh, it was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I showed it. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. I recall we found this at Mountain Guard's mansion. At the defendant's house? What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in this room, and then he stole his wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Unguard's mansion would mean. It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Mountain is the killer's client. Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah? Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured a bear would come up. It's not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edward would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it, too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright. There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. Where are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like to point out further? The person who received the bear. There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that's the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear. You've got to be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order! It looks just like you've dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as all we know, Mountain Guard is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the defense, we've made that all the clearer. What am I supposed to do now, Mia? Help! You don't have time to act lost. You've got to find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Now, I will bring this cross-examination to... Your Honor! Again, Mr. Wright, we've already removed any and all questionable areas of this testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There are still questions left unanswered. Where are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? Let's see, Powers' testimony, the bear itself. Mr. Power's testimony, of course. Huh? I know that my testimony was kind of shaky, but your insanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. We have already clarified all the questionable points during the cross-examination just now. Earth! Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable? I say it's your head that's questionable here. Ah! Yes, I agree. The cross-examination went smoothly and there was nothing wrong with the testimony. Now then, I believe... So please wait a minute. You are being very persistent today, because I can't let it end like this. I know my outburst just now was a little questionable. Questionable indeed. But there really are some questionable points left to discuss, Your Honor. What are you trying to pull? The bear itself. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found at Mr. Ungard's mansion. However, Mr. Ungard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Ungard who took this bear to his mansion. What? Why? That's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken his bear home. Phew. Disaster averted it. You haven't gone to the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Ungard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer? The killer and Ungard were working together, so to speak, and the killer was hiding it at Ungard Mansion as its butler. But what a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to Ungard Mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Ungard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I could attack at all? I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin and his roof. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Ungard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edward has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? I will now announce my... There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is 130 tricks. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is a client of the assassin. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Ungard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. The real client? Yes. Tisk, tisk. Is this all you have? Now then, Mr. Rice, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the real client of the killer and therefore the real murderer? Adrian Andrews? Yes, we've already know that she tried to frame Matt Ungard for this crime. by wearing a bare nickel samurai costume. Ah! Then, the nickel samurai's arm that I saw, that could have very well been Miss Andrews. But what about Mr. Ungard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. Ungard's mansion, it was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edwards, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic, besides which there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is it with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Ungard did it. I can't believe the defense would go as far as to pin the guilt on someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order! 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 All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edwards, the prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to Ungard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. Arr! I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls! Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time. If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. But Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. It's a very big circus. Maya's somewhere within 300 feet radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map about 300 feet radius from the main tent. Hurry! And I could see a mailbox under the window. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Huh? Okay. What else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there, just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I could do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. March 23rd, 12:05 p.m. District Court, Courtroom Number 3. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why is this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why? Why does she... The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its certain is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know how to order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine is a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks could be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is the superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. A puzzle? That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine, true enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you can take it apart, and how would that one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Alright, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and it can be removed. Oh, this is the most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be a perfect for Quan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. So, who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with this same bear in this country. But this looks like it could be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get what was inside. Well, it's a toy. but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Who else knows that this barrel is actually a small container or a jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Swan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Ungard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Figurines. Type other. Alright, it's been updated in the court record. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is only one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is, this bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that could come next, and that is, what is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. What? That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes. You are the only one who could open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. This is what you wanted. What is that? It looks like notes. I don't think we need to guess what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Impact. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself. It seems Celeste Impact had very beautiful handwriting, and she was just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Order! Witness! Did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked over the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edwards' pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right, at least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of the note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much trouble just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of this note out aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the dead, silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impact left to us a record of all that happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Ungard, and being engaged to Corrida, and Ungard's role in destroying that. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Impact had to say. There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word! Madame Ungard values above all else is refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Solicited suicide note, type documents found inside the figurine. It's been added to the court record. It's Ungard's fault that the woman killed herself. And this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible! What a selfish person! I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend those creeps too. There is no margin for doubt here. Mr. DeKiller's client's goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the barrel with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence, the figure ring and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those. The gable is already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! The suicide note or the figure ring, which one of these should I pursue? Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Madeline Guard killed in order to obtain his note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there is a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Correa until the day of the murder. If that is the case, I say that Madeline Guard could not have known what was written on this note. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. Order! 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 I'm almost out of battery power. So until